In today's video, we have an absolute banger for you guys. Top 5 Town Hall 15 armies that you can use in ranked, in CWL and in war to impress your teammates to get you those 3 stars that you have been craving. Let's jump in. The first army is going to be Mass RC Charge Dragons. The army composition for this is 12 dragons, 6 rocket loons, 1 wall breaker, 1 ice golem, and then anything for cleanup. For your spells, you're going to want 11 invisibility spells. In your clan castle, you want 4 super minions, 1 minion, 2 totems, 1 earthquake, and a siege barracks. For your heroes, on the minion prince, you want the phoenix, the dark crown, and the dark orb. For the archer queen, it's the unicorn, giant arrow, and action figure. For the grand warden, has to be on air, use the owl, eternal torm, and red gem. For the royal champion, it's diggy, rocket spear, and electro boots. Let's jump into the attack. So with this army, essentially, you want to pick off as much value as you can with your royal champion. And right here, early on, as you can see, the attacker is popping the rocket spear straight away. Basically, you want to use your rocket spear early so that you can clear a path for your royal champion. So then afterwards, you can start using these invisibility spells to get deep into the base, which is definitely something that you want to do, is get inside of this core. Now, keep in mind that we are going to be using our invises to kind of direct our royal champion as far in towards this town hall, and of course the aura damage from the royal champion will activate this town hall, which is going to be absolutely perfect. But now look, we can pick off both scatter shots. We're going to clear this entire core, and if we are a little bit lucky, we could potentially get that eagle artillery, but it's not the end of the world if we don't get the eagle, because it's easily taken down with a couple of dragons or maybe even some rocket loons, depending on how we decide to enter. And obviously I'll show you the best entry points once the royal champion charge has been done. 2 more invisibilities. You want to make sure that you don't let your royal champion die. If you have to invis a little bit aggressively, overlap them ever so slightly, you are more than welcome to do so, because you need this royal champion to stay alive for as long as possible. Now, as you can see, with what's been taken down on the base, you can come in from 2 points, right? You could come in long ways, coming on in from this 6 to 9 o'clock side, sending your heroes from the 9 o'clock section, or you can come into the eagle. Now ideally, coming on in through the eagle is really nice, especially with the queen, because you can use the siege barracks and a totem spell to tank for the heroes. The peckers will get in front and tank for that queen, and then here come those dragons from that 6 o'clock side. They're going to push in towards this monolith as quickly as possible. Keep in mind, we don't have a king on this one because you have got the minion prince and the warden, and we use the royal champion. We'll keep an eye on this queen. As you can see, her main priority right here is to pick off that eagle. It's the sole reason we sent her over at the 3 o'clock side, the base. These dragons are going to come in. They need to pick off this monolith. We've got that warden ability that we pop over this high damage zone, making sure that we can soak up all of these monolith shots, soak up those multi-infernos and all those air traps as well. Now keep in mind, we did use that minion prince nice and early, but that was definitely vital because the monolith is the only hardest hitting defense that was left after that royal champion charge. So just a rule of thumb for RC charge dragons, especially with the mass RC charge, you want to keep her alive, and if you have to overlap your invises, do so. Make sure you get as much value as you can, and you'll crush bases like this every single day. The second army right here is going to be Fireball Super Witch. Now for the army composition, you want 5 healers, 3 regular balloons, 4 super witches, 1 super wall breaker, 1 ice golem, 1 mini warden, 2 headhunters, and the rest is cleanup, whatever you choose. For your spells, you want a rage, 2 earthquake, which is for the fireball, 4 invises for the fireball also, and then a jump and a skelly. And in your clan castle, you want 5 valkyries, 2 hogs, a siege barracks, a poison, and 2 totem spells. For your heroes on the barbarian king, you want the phoenix, the earthquake boots, and for the heroes on the king, you want the phoenix, you want the spiky ball, and the earthquake boots. For the archer queen, you want the unicorn, the giant arrow, and the action figure. On the grand warden, you want the owl, fireball, and red gem. And for the royal champion, you want diggy, a rocket spear, and electro boots. Let's jump into the attack. So as you can see, this is a very toxic double invis base right here. So what you want to do early on is set up this warden walk very nicely. You want to make sure you get some good value. Now here, depending on the range, it depends on the attacker. So depending on the range and how confident you are with your warden walk, there's a couple of buildings you can hit right here with the grand warden to maximize your value. Number 1 is being this X-bow or this air sweeper right here, which will give you really nice value. You can also land it on the scatter, but you need to be a little bit better but that export is primarily the best choice, and the reason for that being is because you take down one invisibility tower, you can let your warden walk a little bit and pick off this multi-target inferno, and that sets you off a beautiful funnel either into the eagle or coming from the top side into the monolith. And both are very, very nice, but ideally you want to come into the eagle because it's the hardest hitting defense at Town Hall 15, and you want to take it down as quickly as possible. So this is why we send our super witches in to pull the Grand Warden, giant arrow all the way from 6 o'clock to activate the other invisibility tower, which is absolutely perfect. The king's going to come in the inside with the super witches because he has got that spiky ball and the earthquake boots, an early jump spell, so we're preserving this king ability essentially for the back end when he's on this invisibility tower, so that he can open up the whole back end for these super witches. Now we need to ensure that this king actually does take that jump spell, which he is going to do right here absolutely perfectly, and he's going to step in, and once he's on that scatter or the invis, you can pop that ability. He's going to open up the whole back end of the base, and now it's just the super witches are going to power on through. They're going to push through. The queen's going to clear this bottom side of the base, and as you can see, nothing can really stop it. We still have our royal champion that essentially at this point we could potentially swag if we wanted to, because the super witches and the queen with the king in the core are more than enough to get the job done, to power on through the base and to take everything down. But of course, you don't have to swag your royal champion, but of course you can if you want to, you know, get extra swag points. If you do it, your clan mates, they're gonna think you're super cool. So if you can swag the RC, you're more than welcome to. And this is how strong super witches are at Town Hall 15, guys. As you saw, a really nice funnel with the fireball with the Grand Warden. It's that perfect pathing into the eagle, and then from there using that king earthquake boots in the middle of the base just to open everything up so your super witches can push on through the base, and it's going to be a 3-star, and this is why it's one of the best armies at Town Hall 15. We have 3 more. Let's carry on. Here we go, guys, the third army of this video right here, and it's going to be a classic. It's going to be RC Charge Root Riders, and you know, Root Riders are a staple in the game. They were at 16 and 17. They're going to come in at 15 as well. 5 healers, 4 Root Riders, 5 Valkyries when I score them, 1 Apprentice Warden, 4 Rocket Loons, 5 Super Barbs, 2 Loons right here. That's for the tank for your healers, and then everything else is optional except for your 2 Headhunters, which are very, very important. For your spells, you want 2 Overgrowth, you want 5 Invis and a Recall. And for your Clan Castle, you want 1 Root Rider, you want 2 Rocket Loons, 2 regular Loons, a Troop Launcher, a Poison, and 2 Totems. For your heroes on the Barbarian King, you're going to have the Phoenix, the Spiky Ball, and the Snake Bracelet. On the Archer Queen, it's going to be the Unicorn, the Action Figure, and the Giant Arrow. On the Grand Warden, it's going to be Frosty, it's going to be Eternal Tome, and Ray Gem right there as well. Royal Champion is going to have Diggy, Electro Boots, and Rocket Spear. Let's jump in. Oh, we have a very bright base right here. So, with RC Charge Root Riders, basically, the main goal right here is to primarily targeting a spell tower, because you will find double rage compartments, like double rage spell towers, or maybe even like a poison rage. On this occasion it is 2 poisons, so taking down 1 poison spell tower is absolutely perfect. And as you can see, he's using a baby dragon to clean up behind the royal champion, which is also very, very nice. But once this poison tower goes down, you have very, very nice pathing. Now there's 2 options you can do right here. Of course, you've seen that the attacker is going to be going in through the town hall, but another option is you can send your heroes in through the 6 o'clock side, and then you can route in towards this cannon and this bomb tower and go directly into the eagle, where you fight the CC very, very early on. But going into the town hall is also very, very viable right here, because you get the damage out of the way, and then, you know, you're not scared to 1-star or anything like that, and you fight the heroes very, very early on. Queen, giant arrow directly across the base right here. The nice thing about this is you can pop that Warden Eternal Tome early because of the Town Hall Blast as well. You still lower the CC. You get a poison on the Clan Castle. Make sure if there is a furnace in the CC, drop that poison on it ASAP. Now this overgrowth was nice, and I'm going to tell you why. It's so that your Root Riders are forced to go into the poison and that multi-target Inferno compartment, because we have used the overgrowth on the Scatzer, the Eagle, the 2 Builder Huts, and this arch tower is way too far away, so they're forced to go into this multi-inferno, and then of course the overgrowth wears off, so we use the second overgrowth right here just to make sure that we maintain the pathing and have our heroes and our troops come together so they can get the final push of the base together, which is absolutely perfect right here. This is a textbook way of how you should be using Root Riders at Town Hall 15. Now you can see everything is going to be working in unison. We popped our Royal Champion ability. Now the main reason we popped it here is so that we can keep our royal champion back just a little bit, so when the overgrowth wears off, the RC can go in and pick off everything, which is exactly what happened. We popped that RC ability a couple of seconds before the overgrowth wears off, the RC comes in, the overgrowth comes off, and the RC picks everything up, and there we have him on these root riders. I don't think he lost a single root rider in this attack, but this is how you do it at Town Hall 15, guys. Make sure you use this army, is absolutely dominating. Here we have army composition number 4. It's going to be Fireball Rocket Loons. So for this one, you want 5 healers, 18 Rocket Loons, 2 Wall Breakers, 1 Ice Golem, 1 Yeti, 1 Baby Dragon, 2 regular balloons as well. And then everything else is going to be optional except for the 3 Headhunters. For your spells, you want 4 Invises and 2 Earthquakes, which are going to assist with the Fireball, a Rage, 2 Freeze, and a Skelly, which will assist with the Grand Warden. And then in your CC, you want 4 Super Minions, 1 regular minion, 1 balloon, and then a Siege Barracks with a Poison and 2 Totem spells. On your Archer Queen for this one, you want Frosty, Magic Mirror, and Action Figure. On the Grand Warden, you want the Owl, the Red Gem, and the Fireball. On the Barbarian King, you want the Phoenix, Spiky Ball, and Earthquake Boots. And for the Royal Champion, you want Diggy, Electro Boots, and Rocket Spear. Let's jump into the attack. So this attack is a little bit more complex, a little bit more skill comes into Fireball Rocket Loons, but you're going to see how easy it is made to look right here. So we're starting off the Warden over at the 9 o'clock side of the base, because there's a couple of ways or a couple of places we can land this Fireball for massive value. Number 1 being this Expo, because you get the Monolith, which is absolutely fantastic, or you can land it on top of this Air Sweeper, which then gets you the Poison, the Multi, and the Expo as well. Or you can land it potentially on this Builder Hut, which will also help you get some really nice value. So there's multiple options, and it depends on what kind of attacker and how much you're willing to eventually actually risk with the Fireball. Of course, we load out that CC. Poison came down on it very early on, which was absolutely phenomenal. And now it's all about maintaining this Grand Warden. So if a hero latches onto him, drop a rage spell. If you need to, don't be afraid to use a totem or an invis. And here we have it, the Fireball on that Builder Hut, and we're going to get the scatter, the multi. We're going to damage that Town Hall by a lot, and this is now where the Rocket Loons start to come into play, because we want this Grand Warden to walk all the way down towards this Eagle Artillery area, which is going to be really nice. We're going to still let the Warden walk a little bit, because we knew that there was going to be some rocket balloons inside of that CC, because only 1 Furnace came out, which was a little bit not too bad. But the Rocket Loons can definitely be scary. And now here comes the main push of the heroes. King and Queen at the top side from the 12 o'clock section of the base. Royal Champion to break the funnel at the 2 o'clock side, because we're trying to force the King and the Queen to go in for this Monolith compartment. We're going to be using totems for the Royal Champion to tank for the Archer Queen, to make sure that she can help with the hero dive at the top side, which is absolutely fantastic right here. A freeze comes on for that multi-inferno and the expo right there as well. We have got this king ability, and now here are going to start coming those rocket balloons. This is where it gets very techy, right? So these rocket loons are basically here to snipe off these exterior buildings and to take off damage and reduce the damage from your heroes and your Grand Warden. As you can see, we're reducing the damage of the point defenses on the outside with the rocket loons, whilst our heroes clear up the entire inside. The fireballs set the perfect funnel. The super minions are going to assist absolutely magically right here, and we're going to converge onto this Eagle Artillery and be able to finish off the job. But this attack strategy takes a little bit of patience. You have to understand where to use your rocket loons, because you will have to use them to keep your heroes alive. Sometimes you'll use them for hero pathing, but most of the time you're going to use them to pick off the back end point defenses that do the most damage to your heroes, to ensure that you can pick off that 3-star exactly how we just have right here. And this is why this army is a top 5 army for Town Hall 15. We have one more left for you guys, so let's jump into that one and showcase how strong that army is, as well as the other 4 have been absolutely insane so far. Here we have the final attack strategy of the video right here, guys. Remember, all of these armies, the link will be in the description for them. Also, you made it this far in the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, use code BLUE for any in-game purchases, as it helps us make the best videos possible for you guys. So let's carry on with this army composition. Right here, you want 5 healers, 2 furnaces, 4 super yetis, 1 e-titan, 2 regular loons, 1 super wall breaker, and 2 headhunters. Everything else is optional. For your spells, you want 2 rage, 1 jump, 2 invis, 1 poison, and 2 skellies, and this is going to help with your army push. In your clan castle, you want 1 super Yeti, you also want 1 ice golem, a log launcher, and 3 totems. On the barbarian king, you need the phoenix, the spiky ball, and the snake bracelet. For the archer queen, it's unicorn, action figure, and giant arrow. For the grand warden, it's sneezy, eternal tome, and red gem. And for the royal champion, it's diggy, rocket spear, and electro boots. Let's jump right into the final attack of the video. So as you can see, we have an invis behind the town hall, but for this one, we are not using a fireball or anything like that. We are actually, in fact, using a warden charge. So we're going to drop our warden with 2 furnaces. Now this is important. 2 furnaces on your healers, and you also want to do a test Coco Loon to make sure that there's no seeking air mines or any red air bomb farms so that your healers can stay alive. So essentially right here, you want to take down this single target Inferno, and then you want to let your warden walk for a little bit to get as much value as possible. Right here, why he dropped the skelly in front of that single is so that they can tank for the grand warden, so that the warden doesn't get targeted by the single, and then you have to use additional spells, which isn't going to be ideal. Once that single Inferno goes down, essentially your funnel is perfectly set, right? Because we had the furnaces to make the funnel over at the 6 o'clock side. Now here come your heroes from the 9 o'clock section, and they're going to break through the CC, break through the eagle, because you want your super yetis to come in towards this rage tower compartment. So that's exactly why the king and queen were sent into the 9 o'clock side. We use the totems to redirect these defenses to face them away from our super yetis so that they can push through the base and take less damage, which is absolutely fantastic. We have got 1 more totem spell left, which we are going to be a little bit more skeptical with, as we can defend right here the scatter shot as well as this export and the minion prince, which is huge. Jump spell over this town hall section right here just to give us accessibility in and outside of that compartment. The royal champion, of course, coming on in with our initial hero push, not the super yetis but the heroes, to pick off these single target infernos because they're kind of out of the way of our heroes, so we want to make sure we take them down as quickly as possible. But as you can see, man, look how strong this attack was. Use the warden to funnel one side, your heroes funnel the other side, super yetis directly through the gut of the base right there, and you will 3-star every single time. This is how easy this is, and this is why these are the top 5 Town Hall 15 attack strategies. Remember guys, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Use code BLUE for any in-game purchases, because we make the best videos for you guys for Clash of Clans, and we give you the best guides possible. So remember, support us and we'll support you every single day. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.